All right, hello, hello. We have a juicy piece of extremist content brought to you by our favorite green skin, Undead Chronic. Now, my goal today, guys, is I'm going to try to disagree with Chronic. I know it's actually very hard to do. It's very hard to do. So I'm putting myself to a challenge. I want to disagree with this guy because I find myself agreeing with him a little too much. And I don't want to be a dick rider, okay? I don't want to be someone who just sits in the chat sending positive affirmation. I want to be someone with my own intellectual perspective. I want to develop my own perspective. And to do that, I need to differentiate it from the other people in the space. And while I do agree with Chronic on many things, my goal today is to intentionally be a little oppositional and see if there's anything we can disagree on. So I haven't watched this. This is a completely unadulterated take on Chronic's most recent piece of content. So we're going to get right into it.
The frustrations as dating as a
Immediately. Sometimes Chronic has a bit of a lisp because he's not the best public speaker. If you watch his 2018 videos, it's very clear he's not as good as projecting his voice. Like he was probably almost as bad as I am now. Like and he comes across very unnatural. Like he has a very he kind of projects his voice in like a very weird, like personified way that comes off really unnatural. But he's definitely gotten a lot better. Like he sounds a lot better now. And one day I hope to sound a lot better than I am now. So
post-wall woman. It seems like no matter how much dating I do, both online and in real life, it's always the same story. The guys I'm attracted to are not attracted to me back. And the guys that are attracted to me are guys I'm not attracted.
well, it's actually good news for her because she still has guys that are attracted to her. If I hear that you're 37, if I see a woman that's 37, no way in hell am I going to be attracted to her. I don't care if it is Megan Fox. I don't care if it is a fucking Greek goddess. If you're 37, there's just no way. There's no option. I don't even know if I'd really touch you, if I'm being frank. Like, I don't even know just for a one night stand. 37? Like, no. Like, just, you're lucky that you even have guys who are attracted to you in the first place. Like, at all. Period. Take the best one you can get and run away.
Attracted to. Oh, okay.
That's what I mean. Like even L's like this, where you're like, haha, look, it's a woman and she's 37, she's hit the wall. It's like she still has guys going after her. What the fuck? Like she still gets more attention than the average dude. It's fucked up.
We have a very classic problem of you have an overinflated ego. It's not there's something wrong with dating. It's not there's something wrong with dating. You just think you're an 8 when in reality you're like a 2. It's an overinflated ego. So you think you deserve Chad and Tyrone. You think you deserve a dude that's 6'5". You think you deserve a doctor, an engineer, a CEO. You think you deserve a white collar man.
Well, okay, I'll try to disagree. I think it's a little more nuanced than that. I think what's happening is they're probably used to a certain caliber of men, and then suddenly that isn't there anymore, and then they're going, "What? Where'd they go? Where'd they go?" That's what's happening. Is they're expecting something more because they're used to something more. Because when they were younger, they would have got better offers. Now they feel like they're entitled to a certain standard, but they're not putting two and two together that like, hey, I'm old now, I'm not as attractive anymore, uh I'm never going to get the guys that I was used to getting. They're not putting that together and realizing that, yeah, I'm old. And if they are, then they need to adjust their standards. I don't know if she understands that, yeah, it's because I'm old, then there should be no need for this post. It should just be obvious.
You think you deserve to live in the suburbs with a huge house, 4-car garage. You think you deserve that. You dated guys that came from families.
Well, let me read this post. The problem is the quality. The other day I got a really well thought out message from a guy. And, what the fuck? Who's unironically trying to date 37-year-old women? As an Indian guy. That's hilarious. Yes, it's an Indian guy. Hey, take the Indian guys, dude. Take the Indians. Why not? Why the fuck not, dude? Why not? No, it's just their culture. She's saying, "Oh, it means he thought I was ugly." First of all, very very racist white woman. I think we should cancel you because of how racist you are against this poor Indian Bruta. Um, but second of all, it's just Indians. That's what they do. Is they're very horny and very unapologetic in their horniness. Kind of dirty in the way they handle relationships. They're dirty dogs. But we love them. They're great. I don't know what to do anymore. I tried losing weight. I just stay fat. That's a lie. So she's probably a chronic liar. She's saying she gets a lot of messages online. I was wanting to call that out as a lie. I kind of doubt that because women need to say that so that they kind of prop up their ego. She's like, don't worry, I get a lot of messages. Yeah, I'm fine. I tried losing weight, but no matter how much I diet, I just stay fat. Ugh, that's a bad sign. That's a bad sign. That's not how dieting works. If you operate within caloric deficit for an extended amount of time, you will lose weight. I think it's second law, thermodynamics. What is it? Newton's second law. Newton's second law. Nope. Maybe third. Nope. Perhaps the first. I think it is the first, yeah. What? What's the thermodynamics law? It is the first law of thermodynamics. Energy can neither be created nor destroyed. So if you're operating on a energy, right, because calories is energy, if you're operating on a deficit, then where's it going to pull the energy from? It can't just pull it out of thin air. And if you're not eating enough of the energy, it's going to pull it from your fat storage. Maybe it pulls it from muscle. Sometimes that can happen. But even then, you would still lose weight. And that's very rare. So this is a lie. This is just a lie. I really want to get married and have kids. Muffin. That's not happening. That kind of pisses me off, actually. That pisses me off. And they say, oh, I really want to get married and have kids. You're preventing me from getting married and having kids. And I know what Chronic's going to say. He's going to say, well, you should have wanted to get married and have kids when you were 20. And he's right. And that's exactly what I would say. And I'm mad because I wanted to disagree with Chronic. But he's going to say exactly what I would have said, which is you should have wanted to have kids when you were younger. I don't know why women do this. They think they can just... It's kind of like... I think the way women think about it is they're going, oh, it's like, if I don't have to get off the carousel ride now, I'm not going to. It's like you're in the hot shower and you're like, oh, I can just stay a little longer. And if you're not pressured to get out, like you have to go to work in 5 minutes, you have to do things, then you're just going to stay in there for as long as you can. And that's really what women do with their sexuality and do with the partying lifestyles. They just stay there as long as they can because it's easy, it's comfortable, it's fun. And it's not until they've hit 35 that they go, oh, I've been in the shower for like an hour. My fingers are all pruny. I need to start taking life seriously. Whoa. I really want to have kids. Yeah. But hey, take the Indian guy, lady. But anyway, let's try to disagree with Chronic.
He's like that. You grew up in a nice, somewhat white area. You went to college. You were in a sorority. You knew a lot of sorority sisters that married sons of CEOs and went to med school and were engineers. But you're not that. You were practice. You were around those people, but you weren't those
That's
people.
such a powerful phrase. Practice. That hurts. That hurts the soul. You can just tell that hurts the soul of any woman you say that to. Practice. That's such a slam dunk word to tell a woman. Yeah, you're practice. Just nuclear bomb, vine boom, sound effect. Like, I gotta use that.
You didn't convince one of those people to fall in love with you. You were used by that group for bodily pleasures. You dated them. Maybe you dated a couple.
Well, I think she was using them too. I think women are. I think this is almost being too nice to her. Oh, you were just used. You were just practiced. No, I think she probably knew what she was doing. I think she was enjoying the party while it lasted. Right? There's no way you get to 37. I really want to have kids, be married and have kids. If that's really what you wanted the whole time, you would have found it. You didn't get played by a player. I just wanted to have kids and get married to a Chad. That's all I've ever wanted. But guys keep dumping me and breaking. No, that's not true. This is a female constructed narrative to make themselves out to be the victims of like players and Chads. It's not even that. No, they knew what they were doing. They knew that they were just out there to have a fun time. They knew they weren't looking for anything serious. Why? Because it's not very hard. It's not very hard to... It wouldn't be that hard to baby trap a guy if that's really what you wanted. Right? If she really wanted to baby trap a guy, it wouldn't be that hard. Right? So she just started wanting this. And, yeah, so I would disagree there.
Good guys that were of that group, you know, the upper echelons of society, upper middle class, upper class, but you cheated on them. They were too short. They didn't go to the gym enough. They didn't make enough money. They weren't adventurous enough, whatever it is. So you kind of missed your chance to get that life. And now you're 37 and you're upset because China and Tyrone don't write you back.
Here's a question, though. Like, think about it this way. If you're a woman and you're attractive and you're able to sleep around and live in guys' random apartments and have guys pay for random dates and basically have random fucking guys just subsidize your entire life, like simply just to have sex with you, and you're just able to live off that until like 35, like just do that. That's most of your life. That's the valuable years of your life. Yeah, you don't have someone to take care of you from 35 to 60 or 70, but do those years really matter? Are they important? I mean, you could just kind of say, well, my life's done now. A little bit. 35 to 60, 70. Oh, it's probably going to be miserable now. Well, I'm glad I enjoyed those, 15, 20 years of partying. Because that's a lot of years when you actually think about it, of partying. You could just view it as a worthwhile equation. You say, well, I'm not going to have anyone to take care of me in my 50s and 60s, but those are kind of miserable years anyway. You're old. Everything sucks. Everything tastes gross. Your bones start creaking. You start getting random health problems. Might as well just kind of treat your life as done then. That's what I would do if I was a woman and I had made that kind of a mistake. I'd be like, well, my life's basically over now. Could have had kids, didn't, but hey, we got 15 years of partying and drugs and sex and free shit and attention. It's a pretty life well lived.
On OKCupid. What a miserable life she has in store for her. She says, I do get lots of messages online. The quantity of messages is not the problem. The problem is the quality. They're just bad guys. I'm a queen and I can't get a king. What's wrong? The other day, I got a really well thought out message from a guy on OKCupid that was tailored to my profile description. I was ecstatic, but then I looked at his profile picture and saw it was an Indian guy.
Yes.
Oh no. Oh no, my Indian
Bombs in the Ghana.
Buddhas. My Indian Buddhas. Why do you simp for 37-year-old white coochie? Buddha. You've gone.
That's the benefit of them being Indian, is they'll do the dirty jobs that no one else will, eh? They're dirty, so you don't want to live with them, right? Because they're dirty. But they'll do the dirty jobs that no one else will, right? We got to thank our Indian Buddhas. We got to say thank you for taking out the trash for us. Whether it's on the street corner, in the garbage pickup truck, or it's taking out 37-year-old used up condoms.
so astray, my Indian Buddha. Vishnu would be ashamed. Shiva would call down destruction on your family to see you simp for a 37-year-old white woman. Oh, man. Feel bad for these guys.
In his defense, she was probably using heavy makeup and heavy filters, right? So yeah, if you have a OKCupid profile with random static pictures, it's gonna be hard to tell someone's age, especially if you come from a different culture, right? So yeah. So I mean, we can't blame this guy too much. Maybe he didn't know how old she was. Maybe she looks 30. Can't really tell. She covers up some of the wrinkles with a good camera angle. You know what I mean?
Guys, but imagine that. I'm 37. I never get quality messages. And when I finally got a quality message, it was from an Indian guy. Okay? It was from an Indian guy. When this happened, I just broke down and started crying.
That's pretty powerful, Indian guys. You have the power to make women cry.
My Indian Buddha. After all this simping, these white women still hate you. They still hate you. Don't simp for women that hate you, dude. I mean, don't simp for women, but just women. This white woman started crying when she found an Indian guy messaging her. Oh my God. Because the fact he made the effort to write such a well thought out message means he thought he had a chance with me, and this made me feel like I'm ugly.
There we go. That's proof. That's proof.
Yeah, this woman needs to die alone. Oh man. So if Indian men only talk to ugly, is this woman saying? Wait, this woman is saying that Indian men only talk to ugly women? There's some beautiful Indian women out there, and tons of Indian dudes talk to them. I don't know what to do anymore. I've tried losing weight, but no matter how much I diet, I just stay fat.
Okay, so she's fat as well. She can't even, like... It's not just because she's old. It's, like, also because she's fat. Like, okay, so if you're old and fat... Oh, it made me feel like I'm ugly. Well, no shit, you're ugly. You just admitted to being fat and 37 years old. No shit, you're gonna be ugly. Like, this shouldn't be a surprise to you. Like, okay, you know what's a more interesting topic than this random post? Is, why do people, once they become, like, obese, experience extreme levels of delusion? But particularly obese women. Like, as soon as you, like, obesity itself seems to be, like, very psychologically damaging towards, like being honest with yourself. Like, it seems to create liars. I don't know why. But do you know what I mean? Where it's like always the fat chicks that calls themselves a 10. It's always like the fat chick with the most delusional reason for why they're overweight and why no one will date them. It's psychological. It just psychologically crushes a woman's psyche to be fat. It kind of just proves that a lot of women's value is on them being beautiful, being attractive. And when they don't have that, when they're obese, it just completely demolishes their psyche. I kind of think it's because obesity is just so blatantly obvious that to cover up something like obesity or to deal with the cognitive dissonance is so dramatic because it's so obvious. It's so out in the open. It's so unhideable. Right? So, like, there's no cover story you can make to cover your lack of self-control, you know, your addiction, your lack of self-discipline. You can't hide these things at all. Like, think about it. If you're a drug addict and you're on opioids, you can maybe, you know, take a breath mint and, you know, take some Adderall, and then you look semi-functional, put on a nice pair of clothes. You can cover it up sometimes, right, if you're on drugs. But if you're overweight, if you're obese, there's really nothing you can do. There's very, very little that you can do to cover up your obesity. And I think the pervasiveness and the obviousness of their own pathology, because it's just so obvious that there's no way for them to create resolve. There's no way for them to resolve this obvious negative aspect of themselves. So that the cognitive dissonance just becomes so strong that it just breaks their psyche. Because it'd be like if you had it'd be like if every time you looked in the mirror, you just saw a arrow pointing to your head that said loser, right? Like how would you rectify that? I don't know. You just like loser, 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 obese, no self-discipline, pig, no control. Like how would you cope with that? You couldn't, right? So it just eventually breaks people's psyche and forces them to adopt like extreme amounts of cognitive dissonance for them to cope with that fact. And it just breaks them. Which is a big reason why you can't ever become obese, because it just massively destroys your psyche and your self-image. And very, very few people can cope with it. This is pretty fun, I will admit.
Oh man, fat white woman. Fat white woman feels ugly because Indian dudes hit her up on OKCupid. I tried losing weight, but no matter how much I diet, I just stay fat. I really want to get married and have kids, but that's not happening. No, it's not. You are a disgusting, racist, old, fat white woman. You shouldn't have kids. And if you're listening to this, donate to cashapp.cash_Undead Chronic so I can keep on roasting these thoughts.
Well, I tried to disagree with him, but there was really nothing to go after because they were just blatantly true. Yeah, I think Chronic intelligently picks his victims very well. He picks very obvious instances he picks easy targets, is what I'm trying to say. He picks very easy targets. But at the same time, he'll attack anybody. Right? He'll attack anybody, but when he attacks someone, he'll go for like the most damning piece of evidence. You know what I mean? Like when he goes after Andrew Tate, he'll go after you sexed dudes online during the webcam business. That's gay as fuck, right? Or he'll go he'll attack like his physiognomy. Like he'll attack certain aspects that just the other person can't defend, right? Or they can't, there's no room to like argue, or there's like any room to explain. Like if I call you fat, there's really nothing you can do if you're fat. You can't be like, well, technically my BMI is 28.5 and it's only because I'm wearing this particular shirt. There's very little you can actually do to defend yourself, right? So I think the problem with Chronic is that he kind of picks easy targets to laugh at and make fun of. And so I need to find one where he's actually critiquing what somebody's saying. Like if I can find him one where he's reacting to Destiny, or he's reacting to what somebody's saying, instead of just like pathetic white women on Twitter, you know what I mean, or OKCupid or whatever. But yeah, that was another piece of Undead Chronic content. If you couldn't tell, it's late in the night and I'm tired and my brain is not working because I've been busy all day. I've been writing out logical fallacies for my debate prep. So my brain is tired, but I wanted to record a piece of content for you guys so you had something to watch. So with that, take care, everyone. Get some good sleep tonight. Don't go on your phone before bed. Keep that blue light out of your eyes. Don't let it distract you. Don't let the dopaminergic demonic pathways of le phone damage your brain and your psyche. It's a precious gift to you, your mind, given to you by God. Don't let the demonic forces of the internet use the portal of the phone to invade your mind, right? So, all right, pastor rant done. Take care.